Every day, fingers pull two thin strings and make a small knot. The action feels old. It feels learned, not taught. Shoelaces hold our shoes, but they also hold quiet memories of hands, time, and care. If this small detail of daily life feels worth noticing, like the video and share it with someone. In the comments, tell me, did you know shoelaces have a history this old? The floor feels cold in the morning. Shoes wait near the door. Laces rest on the ground like tired lines. We bend, we pull, we tie. Then we stand and leave. The moment passes without sound. This small habit follows us through life. We learn it as children. We repeat it as adults. We rarely think about it again. Shoelaces live close to our bodies. They touch dust, water, and streets. They feel the weight of every step. Still, they stay quiet. We notice them only when they break, or when we trip, or when time pulls them thin. They are simple, they are useful, and they are very old. Long before modern shoes, people needed to protect their feet. Stones cut skin, snow burned toes, hot ground hurt. Early humans used what they had. They wrapped animal skin around their feet. They tied it with plant fibers. Fibers are thin threads taken from plants. They twist easily. They hold when pulled. These first ties were not neat. They were not even, but they worked. A knot kept the foot safe. A knot meant you could walk longer. You could hunt. You could travel. In cold places, this meant survival. In ancient times, shoes were rare. Many people walked barefoot. Shoes showed status. Status means your place in society. Rich people wore better shoes. Poor people used simple wraps. But both needed one thing. They needed a way to keep the shoe on the foot. In ancient Egypt, people wore sandals. They were flat. They were made of leather or reeds. Reeds are tall grass that grow near water. Thin straps crossed the foot. Some tied around the ankle. These ties were early cousins of shoelaces. They did not go through holes yet, but they served the same purpose. They held the shoe close. Egyptians cared about balance and order. Their clothing showed this. Sandals were clean. Straps were placed with care. Even servants learned how to tie them well. A loose tie meant danger. You could fall. You could slow your work. In ancient Greece, sandals changed again. Greeks walked long distances. They talked. They argued. They thought deeply. Their sandals needed to last. Leather straps became stronger. Some wrapped up the leg. These wraps gave support. Support means help that makes something stronger. Roman soldiers wore heavy sandals called caligae. These shoes had thick soles. Soles are the bottom part of shoes. Leather strips crossed the foot. They tied tightly. Soldiers marched for days. A broken tie meant pain. Pain meant weakness. Weakness meant danger. Roman soldiers learned to tie fast. They learned to fix breaks. A lace was not decoration. It was a tool. Losing it could slow an army. As time moved forward, shoes changed. In the Middle Ages, shoes became symbols. They showed rank and job. Knights wore boots. Farmers wore rough shoes. Monks wore simple sandals. Monks are religious men who live quiet lives. Laces grew longer. Holes appeared in shoes. These holes helped guide the lace. They gave more control. Control means the power to make something fit your needs. Leather laces replaced plant fibers. Leather was stronger. It lasted longer. Shoemakers learned how to cut it thin. Shoemakers are people who make shoes by hand. Their work was slow. It was careful. A good lace was smooth. It did not tear easily. In medieval towns, shoes were expensive. One pair could last years. People repaired them many times. Laces were reused. Knots were tied and untied every day. Hands learned the movement by heart. Children watched adults. They copied them. This is how knowledge moved. No books, no lessons, just watching. Just doing. During long winters, people stayed indoors. They fixed tools. They repaired clothes. They cut new laces from old leather. The work was quiet. It filled the dark hours. There is a soft beauty in this. Small tasks kept life moving. I think this is one of the most gentle parts of human nature. We solve small problems with care. We pass that care forward. But not all times were gentle. Wars came. Cities burned. People fled. Shoes wore out fast. Laces broke often. For poor people, a broken lace was not small. It meant cold feet. It meant blisters. Blisters are sore spots on skin from rubbing. Some people used rope. Some used string. Some used twisted cloth. Whatever held was enough. Comfort was rare. As trade grew, materials travelled. Cotton came from far lands. Cotton is a soft plant fibre. It made lighter laces. Silk appeared in rich houses. Silk is smooth and strong. It felt soft between fingers. By the 1500s, shoes changed shape again. They became tighter. They followed the foot more closely. Laces moved up the shoe. They crossed over the foot. This crossing gave better hold. It spread pressure. Pressure means force pushing down. But fashion brought problems too. Some shoes became too tight. People wanted small feet. Laces pulled hard. Feet hurt. Toes bent. Pain became normal. There is a quiet sadness here. People changed their bodies to follow style. Shoelaces helped make this possible. A tool meant for comfort became a cause of harm. Still, laces stayed. They adapted. In some places, buckles replaced them. Buckles are metal fasteners. They were faster. They looked rich. But buckles broke too. They rusted. Rust is damage from water and air. Laces were simple. They could be replaced. They returned again and again. By the 1700s, shoes reached new lands. Colonists wore them. Workers wore them. Children wore small versions. Shoelaces became common. They were no longer special. Factories arrived in the 1800s. Machines cut leather. Machines wove cloth. Woven means threads crossed over and under each other. Shoelaces could now be made in large numbers. They became cheap. This changed everything. Shoes reached more people. Laces reached more hands. Children learned to tie them young. Parents watched with pride. But factory life was hard. Workers stood all day. Shoes wore out fast. Laces snapped. Replacement was easy, but life was not. There is another soft sadness here. Simple tools became part of hard lives. Shoelaces held shoes together while people struggled, and yet, even in this, there is something steady. Every morning, people still bent down, they still tied knots, they still prepared to face the day. By the early 1900s, shoes changed again. Sports grew popular, running, jumping, games. Shoes needed strong hold. Laces became flatter. Flat laces spread pressure better. They stayed tied longer. New knots appeared, double knots, cross knots. Each small change came from experience. Someone tripped. Someone fell. Someone tried again. Children learned in schoolyards. Friends taught friends. Mistakes were part of it. Loose laces caused falls. Falls caused laughter. Laughter turned into memory. Dear listener, think about how many times you learned by falling. Small lessons stay with us. By the mid-1900s, shoelaces were everywhere. Black ones, white ones, thick ones, thin ones. They came with every pair of shoes. They felt ordinary. That is when we stopped noticing them. We began to move faster. Cars, trains, screens. Hands stayed busy. Small acts faded into the background, but shoelaces stayed patient. They waited at our feet. They still asked for the same thing, a moment of care. And as the world rushed forward, new ideas waited just ahead. New materials, new designs, new ways to close a shoe. Some would challenge the lace, some would try to replace it. The simple knot had survived thousands of years. But the modern world was about to test it in new ways. The middle of the 20th century brought speed into daily life. Cities grew taller, roads grew wider, people moved faster than before. Shoes followed this change. They needed to support quick steps. They needed to feel light. Shoelaces changed again, quietly, without asking for attention. New materials appeared. Nylon became common. Nylon is a strong man-made fibre. It did not break easily. It did not soak water like cotton. Shoelaces made from nylon stayed firm in rain. They dried fast. This mattered to soldiers, runners, and workers. During wars, soldiers depended on their boots. Boots had long laces. A good lace meant a stable foot. A stable foot meant safety. In muddy fields, laces filled with dirt. Hands froze in winter. Our tying became slow and painful. Some soldiers cut their laces shorter to save time. Others learned to tie blind in the dark. There is a quiet heaviness in this part of the story. Shoelaces were there during fear and loss. They held boots on tired feet. They felt long marches. They felt standing still while waiting. They never spoke. They just held. After the wars, people wanted comfort. They wanted ease. Factories listened. Shoes became softer. Laces became smoother. Colours appeared. White laces for clean shoes. Bright laces for sport. Children loved them. A red lace felt playful. A blue one felt cool. Sports shoes changed the meaning of laces. Runners needed tight knots. Basketball players needed strong hold. A loose lace could cause a fall. Falls could end a career. Yet athletes learned to double knot. They learned to tuck the ends inside. Television brought sport into homes. People watched feet move fast. They copied what they saw. Lacing styles became part of identity. Identity means how we see ourselves. Some laced tight, some loose, some left ends long. In school, shoelaces became small tests of growing up. A child who could tie alone felt proud. Parents waited patiently. Fingers fumbled, knots slipped. Tears came. Then one day it worked. The knot held. That moment stayed in memory. Think about it for a moment. Many of us remember learning this. The floor was close. The task felt big. Help was near, but not too near. In the 1960s and 1970s, fashion took over shoes. Shoes were no longer just for walking. They were statements. Statements mean messages without words. Laces changed colour. They changed width. Some were striped. Some were thick like ropes. Punk culture used laces to show anger. Bright colours on black shoes. Loose ties. Broken rules. The knot became a symbol. A symbol is something that stands for an idea. At the same time, others wanted clean lines. They hid laces inside shoes. They wanted smooth shapes. Shoes slipped on without knots. This was new. It felt modern. Then came a big challenge to the lace. Velcro. Velcro is a fastener that sticks when pressed together. It opened and closed quickly. Children could use it easily. Older people liked it too. No bending, no tying. Just press and go. Many thought shoelaces would disappear. Designers loved speed. Parents loved ease. Stores filled with Velcro shoes. But something felt missing. Velcro wore out fast. Dirt weakened it. It made a loud sound. It lacked grace. Grace means quiet ease. Shoelaces stayed. They did not rush. They did not demand. They waited. In the 1980s and 1990s, shoes became personal again. Brands sold identity. Sports shoes told stories. Famous athletes had signature shoes. Signature means a personal mark. Their shoes had special laces. Thick, flat, strong. People began to customize. They changed laces to change mood. White laces for calm days. Bright ones for fun. Black for serious moments. I think this shows something gentle about people. We like to change small things when the world feels big. Technology moved forward. Factories improved weaving. Laces became stronger. They resisted tearing. Ends were sealed with plastic tips. These tips are called aglets. Aglets stop laces from fraying. Fraying means threads breaking apart. Aglets are tiny. We rarely notice them. Yet without them, laces fail fast. They are quiet helpers. There is a soft lesson here. Small things often carry more weight than we see. By the early 2000s, life sped up again. Phones, messages, constant movement. Shoes followed speed. Slip-on shoes returned. Elastic laces appeared. Elastic stretches and returns. You could pull shoes on without tying. Some loved this. Some missed knots. Children still learned to tie. School still asked for it. A tied shoe felt safe. It felt finished. Fashion shifted again. Sneakers became daily wear. Offices allowed them. Streets filled with them. Laces showed wear quickly. Dirt stayed. People learned to wash them or replace them. There was comfort in this routine. Remove old, add new, pull through holes, tie again. In recent years, shoes changed once more. Smart shoes appeared. Some had no laces at all. Buttons, dials, even apps. A dial turns and tightens cables inside the shoe. These systems are clever, they are fast, but they feel distant. No touch, no knot, no pause. Shoelaces ask for a pause. When you tie them, you stop for a moment. You bend, you breathe, you focus. It is small, but it matters. During hard days, this pause can feel grounding. Grounding means bringing you back to the present. There was a time when many people stayed home. Streets were quiet. Work moved indoors. Shoes waited by doors. Laces rested, days blurred. Today, shoelaces live in a strange place. They are everywhere, yet almost unseen. Stores sell hundreds of kinds. Long ones, short ones, soft ones, strong ones. Still, most of us use whatever comes with the shoe. We tie them. We forget them again. Modern life values speed. We rush from place to place. We search for tools that save seconds. In this world, shoelaces can feel slow. They ask us to stop. They ask us to bend down. They ask for care. Some people choose shoes without laces now. Slip-ons, elastic shoes, smart systems. These feel easy. They fit busy lives. There is nothing wrong with that. But many people still choose laces, not because they are faster, because they feel right. A tied shoe feels secure. Secure means safe and steady. The knot holds the foot in place. The pressure feels even. The shoe becomes part of the body. There is also trust here. You trust your knot. You trust your hands. You trust that it will hold until the day ends. Children still learn this skill. Fingers struggle. Loops fall apart. Patience grows. One day the knot stays tight. Pride appears. This moment has not changed in centuries. Older people tie their shoes more slowly. Hands shake sometimes. Eyes strain. Still, the habit remains. It connects past and present. Shoelaces cross generations. They pass from parent to child without words. In fashion, laces still speak quietly. Bright laces show playfulness. Clean white laces show care. Worn laces show long use. They tell small stories about daily life. Some people collect laces. Some change them often. Some never change them at all. Each choice is small. Each choice is personal. I think this is one of the calm truths of life. Small choices shape how we move through the world. Shoelaces also remind us of balance. Too tight hurts. Too loose causes falls. The right tension feels natural. Finding that balance takes attention. Attention is rare now. Many things pull it away. Screens, sounds, speed. Tying laces brings attention back to the body, to the ground, to the moment before movement. There is no reward for this. No praise, no points. Just quiet readiness. Next time you tie your shoes, notice your hands. Notice the pull. Notice the knot forming. It is the same motion humans have used for thousands of years. People in cold caves, people on dusty roads, people in busy cities, all paused, all bent down, all tied something small before stepping forward. The world changed around them. The knot stayed simple. Shoelaces do not try to impress. They do not need improvement. They do not ask to be replaced by something smarter. They work because they always worked. There is comfort in that. Life often feels uncertain. Plans change. Ground shifts. Many things feel loose. Shoelaces offer one small certainty. Pull, cross, loop, hold. When the day feels heavy, this small order can feel steady. When the day feels empty, this small action can feel real. Shoelaces sit near the ground, but their story reaches far. It reaches into how humans solve problems, how they pass habits forward, how they keep moving. They remind us that not everything needs to be new. Some things only need care. As you walk away today, shoes tied, step steady, carry this thought gently. The smallest things often hold us together. When people went outside again, they tied their shoes slowly. Walks felt new. The knot felt familiar. Comfort returned through simple acts. Shoelaces did not change the world. They did not make noise, but they stayed with us through change. They adapted, leather to fibre, fibre to nylon, flat to round. They bent with time. And now, As we stand close to the present, the lace still holds. It waits at the edge of each step. It prepares us to move. The story has not ended. The final meaning waits in how we see it today.